Okay, now that we've created our route in the Fleet portal and we've set it for ready, we can go ahead and log into our Fuel Lock application, and it'll pull in that data and we'll have a route waiting for us. So let's go ahead and log in. The first thing I have to do is set a truck. And I have to put in the current miles for the truck, current mileage, which in this case is very low. In a test environment, I'm sure your mileage will be vastly higher. And now here it is. We're on our route details page. And so our first, if I click on the first line item, we have our starting point. Second is our first delivery. The third is our second delivery. And we also have a fourth item here that we'll get into in a different segment, fueling at the rack. And so we'll take care of that later on. But let's start with our first delivery, which is to Cape Cargo. And so now we're at Cape Cargo, and we're ready to put fuel into our first asset. So I'm going to click, now that Cape Cargo is highlighted, I'm going to click Start Delivery. And with that, we have our splash page, and on this page we have, we can make an adjustment to the meter register if we want to. And in some cases you could even change the product, but in this case you cannot. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and click on the bottom right on Manual to start the fueling process. And so the next thing I want to do is scan the item. I have a barcode in front of me, and I'm going to press the scan button here with my camera pointed at the barcode. And it will pick up that information and automatically fill it in. And there we go. So very good. And now we fuel. And when we finish fueling, we enter the meter reading that's waiting for us. So here I'm going to enter 50, and I'm going to click Done. Now, if we had other assets to fuel in the same at the same site, we would go ahead, and the very next thing we would do is scan the next barcode. And we would just keep going through the process of scanning those barcodes and entering the meter reading at the end of each fueling. And so we're only doing one. So now that we've done this, we're done fueling at this site. So I'm going to go ahead and click on End. And in doing that, it asks me if I want to end it. Yes, I do. Now it's going to bring me to my print ticket page. And now normally when you're first getting into this, it's going to look for permission to access the printer, and you just say go ahead, and you give it the permission. But you also normally would not have the button on the left bottom illuminated, ready to go ahead and print. The reason is because you'd have to do your printer settings, which I'm going to do now with you on the bottom right. So you click on that, and so you have a printer model, and it's going to default to RJ3050. That's going to be correct. But then you also have, and this is where I'm already set up, but you look for your Bluetooth pairing on your printer. In my case, my printer is called Kevin's Sweet RJ3050, and so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now that I have my stuff set up for the printer, I'm going to go ahead and click on the arrow on the top left and go back to my print ticket, and I'm going to click on Print on the bottom left. And this will send it via Bluetooth to my little portable printer. And just like that, we have our ticket. Okay, now I have a ticket in hand, and we're going to move on. So we're going to end this particular delivery at this particular site by clicking End in the center on the bottom. Okay, now we're driving, and we've just arrived at ERE Eversource in Plymouth. So I'm going to move on to the next listing here. Go ahead and click on that. And now that that is highlighted, I can go ahead and click on Start Delivery. Take us to our splash page. Everything's good on there, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Manual. And once again now, it's going to look for a barcode, and so I'm going to go ahead and scan my barcode. Now that we've done that, I fuel. And we'll assume we put in 50 more gallons, so my meter reading is now 100 gallons. And so I click Done. And I don't have any more assets to fuel at this site, so I'm going to go ahead and click on End, because I want to print a ticket for this. Yes, I want to end the delivery. And here's my ticket. Now I don't have to go through printer settings again, so I'm going to go ahead and just click on Print. and it just goes ahead and prints straight away. Okay, so now I'm going to click on end here because we've ended that particular delivery. And I'm going to get on to the visiting the rack in a different, or doing a BOL in a different segment. So for this time, I'm going to go ahead and click End Route up in the top right corner of the screen. And this is what you do when you're done with all your deliveries and you want everything to reconcile and you want the data to be sent off. You click End Route. And yes, you are sure you want to do it. It'll ask you for your current mileage on your vehicle. I will enter it and click Save. And just like that, you finished your route with success. It's really very easy to use this, and with a little bit of repetition, it becomes second nature.